Shalom again, everybody. Rabbi Ariel here from the KosherTorah School, found online at KosherTorah.com. I want to share with you a short little word that I wrote a couple of years back about the importance of the power of mind. I call this mind strengthening, and it's been inspired by my readings of the weekly Torah portion, which for this week, at the time that I'm recording this, is Parashat Devarim. And one of my favorite pasukim there is verse 21 of chapter 1, where it states, look, Hashem, your God, has given you the land. Rise up, possess, even as Hashem, God of your fathers, has spoken. Do not fear, do not be small. God's given us natural innate powers. We have a reality of righteousness, morality, decency. We all know what these things are supposed to be, and yet we have to do it. The problem, of course, sometimes, I think our greatest enemy is our own minds, which subvert our own actions. So again, take a moment, sit back, relax. It's a short little essay. Let me give you some thoughts to consider, and hopefully we'll make a difference, God be willing. Want to become enlightened? Then expand your mind. This is not going to be accomplished exclusively through meditation. Meditation will give you insights, but insights in and of themselves are like dreams or works of art. They're subject to never-ending interpretations. Real enlightenment comes about when we turn on the lights inside the mind and bring clarity to the thinking process. Turning on the internal cerebral lights is not an event, but rather it's a process. Want to become enlightened? Really enlightened? Then cultivate your mind. Learn critical, analytical ways of thinking. It is this type of penetrating analytical thinking that can set one's mind free from delusional beliefs. For thousands of years, the value of analytical thinking was known to and cherished by the best of all ancient thinkers and mystics, the ancient Greek philosophers, the Jewish Kabbalists, the Talmudic sages, Patanjali of India, Confucius of China, Maimonides, the mystic masters of all ages and of all walks of life, equally shared this one value. They all cultivated the rational, intellectual powers of the mind and used them to penetrate beneath the facade of things in order to discover the hidden truths concealed within all things in creation. The philosophical Kabbalah is most often called mysticism, but this is really not so. Talmudic study is often considered to be the antithesis of mysticism, but this too is really not so. When we come to properly and correctly define terms like rationalism and mysticism, we discover that the great chasm that some think separates the two is really no more than a thin line, if even that. Many think that enlightenment comes about only as a result of the withdrawal of the mind from outside observations. Yet, the truly enlightened know that this is the opposite of the truth. Many think that rationalism is based exclusively on external observations without any additional internal intuitive input. This too is a mistake. The human mind is a wondrous creation that is capable of so many different types of mental functions. Only when the mind is used in its totality does one discover the truths of both the external world and the internal world. Truths are discovered both inside the mind and outside the mind. This is one of the basic lessons of the Kabbalah and the secret underlying the Kabbalistic teaching about the Sephirotic mochin, brains. Learn how to think, not what to think. Chokhmah enters into Bina and penetrates it like sperm penetrating the egg. Once the intellect, Bina, is properly, in quote, fertilized by inner intuition, chokhmah, the two work together to form complete and accurate knowledge, dot. This is the sacred triangle of the mind. In Kabbalah, this is called the Yichud of Chabad. Intuition and spirituality, without proper form and context, float about nebulously in the mind, leading one to all kinds of mental and emotional detachments from the real world. This is never good. Rationalism, when defined as, in quote, all that exists is what is seen and no more, is blind to that which exists but is presently out of sight. Usually, for the one who embraces this perverted definition of rationalism, also embraces a fear of exploration. Thus, the limited outlook is not rational at all. On the contrary, it's the definition of the irrational. It is equally no good. Intuition inspires. Intellect confirms. The two form the whole. This is the ancient secret known to all the masters of the ancient cultures and schools from around the world. This message needs no further elaboration. One must take the message and, like the Torah verse says, rise up and possess it. Compare it to weight training in a gym. It takes only a few moments to learn the exercises, but it takes months of hard work performing those exercises that leads to one becoming big and strong. As it is with the muscles of the body, so too is it with the muscle of the mind. Strengthen your minds. Make them what they're supposed to be, created in the image of God. Well, contemplate that, I pray. Hey, if you like what I have to say here, please hit the like button, subscribe to our KosherTorah School channel here, and please consider help supporting us and getting our message out. God bless. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you all in our next time. Shalom.